Hogan and Savage, Brett and Bill Goldberg, Cornette and Russo, Ole Anderson and, well, pretty much everybody. Me and Wheeler Yuta. I am so motherfucking sick of seeing this mop-top, string-bean-sized, worthless, aborted fetus of a goddamn wrestler! Fuck! Why is he still here? God, I love professional wrestling, but Tony, why do you keep doing this? Why? Why am I getting angry about this goddamn waste of human skin? Who probably is a nice guy, but he doesn't deserve all the main event spots, all the main event television time, and all the pushing, shoving down our throat. God! Anyway, hi, I'm John Retton with my review of AEW Dynamite. If your ears aren't blown out, I'm going to talk about this show. And yeah, I am reviewing this earlier than usual because I had a different work week and was able to watch this live. Why is it every time I can watch a Dynamite live, I end up with a few things that piss me the fuck off? Look, I didn't expect a landmark show because All In was a spectacle in more ways than one. I said my opinions on it. It's a 43-minute long video. Go to about 16:45 if you want for me to talk about everything from Swerve and Ospreay versus the Bucks onwards. The last number of minutes is dedicated to the main event. Good on Hangman for winning. They're just not going to let him get away from this fucking bullshit. Bullshit. Tony needs to learn how to just fucking say no. Be a boss, grow a spine, and just say, you know what? No, we're not going to do this shit. The same stuff that they were doing in the lead-up, the same stuff they did in the main event. Oh, sure, Hangman won, and it's great that he won. And they got a residency in Chicago, and that's great. Ding! The venue looks cool. The crowd was loud. I did like the intimate atmosphere. Hangman gets a pop. They say he deserves it. He says they deserve it. We deserve it is what they're saying. It's a promo of gratitude, and it went on a while. He thanks Orange Cassidy for what I don't know. He thanked Jay White for what I don't know. He thanked Copeland. He thanked the Ops, the OPPs. Bryan Danielson, a few other people, Darby, and even Swerve. He said thank you. He has a family, he has friends, and he has people who love him. And he has the World Heavyweight Championship, which he thankfully freed from Mox. I would have taken just about anybody winning the world title at this point. Because Jon Moxley's world title reign was the absolute fucking pits. The worst world title reign in AEW's admittedly short history. People can say Chris Jericho being the first champion. At least that made sense because then he was a star. So All In Texas recaps. The Bucks arrive in an Uber. Did they have to have children's seats for the back so they could see and tell the people, hey, we need to be dropped off here. No, wait, it's not school. I know it's supposed to be, they're getting their comeuppance because they're no longer EVPs. Here's the thing. If I actually cared about the Bucks, like, getting their comeuppance, I might actually laugh at this. And I mean, yeah, there were a couple things that were kind of funny. But the thing is, I just want the Bucks to go away. They need to wipe the slate clean on so much of this. They need to literally let a bunch of contracts just go, do pay-per-appearance stuff, trim things down, short things up, and really figure out what they're going to do and have a central focus. Because they got Forbidden Door coming up. They got All Out coming up a bit after that. They haven't even announced where Wrestle Dream, Full Gear, and World's End are. And by the way, Wrestle Dream, if it is going to be in my state, is going to be happening sometime in October. Probably the second weekend or so. And they need to really figure out what the fuck they're going to do. And they probably should run it in Everett because a 10,000-seat arena will be a lot easier to sell out. The Protostar took on Mascara Dorada, and a Brainbuster won it in 12 minutes. I'm not going to provide a lot of analysis for a lot of these matches, because a lot of them really didn't matter. Nothing against Dorada. He's a fine athlete, and it took Fletcher twice as long to beat a guy that may be good, but on this television program, they're trying to build up Fletcher, and it's a competitive match for that long. The Bucks are struggling with their briefcases, probably because they can fit inside the briefcases. And they're being made fun of, even by Ricochet and his group. You know, and I like Bishop Khan, and I don't mind Toa Leona, but they rarely, if ever, win on television. And now they're just suddenly being used. And I like Khan has a great look. Him and Leona are a good team. But anyway, Callis basically says, hey, come join my group. I got like 15 guys. Yeah, that's the problem. You have 15 guys and none of them are really any good besides Takeshita. There's a Swerve coming at some point. No, not Swerve himself. Hurt Syndicate pre-tape. They aren't gloating because they knew they'd win and MJF is going to come after everybody. Especially the Hangman, because he says he's his depression. Callis joins commentary. The Bucks get no pyro and Comic Sans for their stuff because, get it, they're no longer EVPs. Okay, it is what it is, but the thing is, these fuckers never deserved a lot of the accolades that they have been receiving. Oh, the greatest tag team of all time. They have never even been the greatest tag team in their goddamn own company. They were an opening card act in New Japan. The only reason Ring of Honor even featured them is because Ring of Honor was desperate after various people left. And we get Josh Alexander, Hechicero, and the Bucks against Bandito, Jet Speed, and Brody King. Brody King, by the way, the Abolish Ice t-shirt. If you disagree with the Abolish Ice message, see ya. I don't want to fucking see ya. So, Rick Knox was the referee. I mean, what do you expect? It was just the normal stuff, and in 13 minutes, Bandito got KO'd by about 15 million moves, and I think Hechicero beat him. I think he did. Because they're having him challenge him for the Ring of Honor Championship, because Nick Wayne is the Ring of Honor TV champion. Copeland gets the sing-along, and he's back to being Adam Copeland, or the Adam Copeland, as it were, and not Cope, because let's be perfectly honest, Cope should have had a move called the Mechanism if he was going to do that, and he didn't. Goes over all the stuff with Christian Cage, and look, I know he's getting a shit pot full of money. I was there for his debut at Wrestle Dream 2023. It was a monumental moment. I'm happy for him. He gets to do what he wants to do. The thing is, the stuff with Christian Cage, I don't care if he's feuding with him, reuniting with him. It's rehashing stuff that really was capped off at the 2021 Royal Rumble. You know, the pandemic Royal Rumble that absolutely nobody was in attendance for because it was a pandemic. But he wants to end FTR. And then here's Stokely with some, security. And Stokely basically talks about 3 anonymous emails being sent to HR, as if HR in AEW actually exists. And if Copeland touches FTR, he's going to be fired. But nothing about Stokely. And then Stokely, instead of jumping out of the ring, he just gets speared. Whatever. They could have built to that, but it's fine. Randy Newman was right, by the way. I just want to say that. There were Oompa Loompa chants. Stokely can talk, but I'm kind of done with his stuff because this pairing with FTR, or association with FTR, I guess, I was excited for it, but it was what it was. Mark Briscoe, he will not forgive MJF and so on, and we are going to get that feud. And I'm actually looking forward to that feud. Tekla, I think it's Tekla, against Queen Aminata, who said she would donate this prize money, to an anti-ICE, fundraiser. Again, abolish ICE. Don't abolish authority, abolish the hate group that is ICE. If you happen to be working for ICE, by the way, you're a part of a hate group. You're a fucking monster. You know better than the Nazi soldiers, and you deserve every bit of ridicule that you get. You and your family. So, Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale. So it's a 4-way match with $100,000 on the line. Queen Aminata nearly dies doing a dive at one point. Tekla had to shove her a couple times. I don't know if there was a miscue there. I don't know if there's legit heat, anger, angst, whatever the fuck it is between them, but it wasn't a bad match, but it also is another multiple person match that I know why they did it. They wanted to give people an easy night. And I get that. But the thing is, they have such a large roster. Why didn't you rotate people in and out? Why didn't you do that? You had a 7-hour show at All in Texas. So, at one point, Aubrey Edward was pulled out by Statlander to stop the pin. And we got a flush stomp from Aminata on Tekla for 2. Sky Blue, Chicago's own, shows up. And then Julia shows up and hits the mist on Aminata and Tekla 1. Okay. I guess we're forming another faction. I mean, Tekla being associated with Julia and Sky isn't the worst thing. Tony then basically is Tony Storm, that is, up in the Skybox. We're able to witness Tony's box right there. And she talks about how she said she would eat Mercedes alive and she was delicious. Why is everybody in wrestling so fucking horny? Luther needs reattachment surgery because he got his dick chopped off. Okay. Look, they were into this, and Tony wants challengers. And Athena and Billy Starks are there. Billy Starks looks like she was ready to go to a college prom. Do they have proms in college? And I guess we're getting a challenge for later, probably at Forbidden Door, because we have a month until Forbidden Door, maybe 5 weeks. Tony then basically says a couple other things, and I will, if you're able, I will bend you over the table. Yeah, remember, make sure that table's sturdy, because I don't care how light some people are. Then we suddenly cut back to Nick Wayne holding the Ring of Honor TV Championship, Kip Sabian holding his arms like this, and Shayna Wayne being respectful here, because I have talked to Nick Wayne multiple times. Great kid, his attitude is he wants to learn. Got to see him early on in his career on the indies here. And Shayna is a very, very nice, very, very bright, and insanely attractive woman, but with respect. Really, I couldn't help but look. I'm sorry. I couldn't help but look. I couldn't. I'm sorry. God, if I have to be watching this, good Lord. Thank God I rarely leave my house. But, basically they're done with Christian Cage. Christian Cage talked about winning world championships, and Nick Wayne said, how many world championships am I going to win? Actually, he said, world champions am I going to win? It's all right. He was nervous. And there we go. There we go. Nick Wayne getting a chance to shine. He's only 20. He's doing well. It's going to take a while with him, but he's getting it. He's starting to put on some size, and he's gaining experience. He was in the Best Super Juniors recently, so I'm happy for him. Okada got a new theme and beat some guy named Quintico in a minute, maybe 90 seconds. He called Swerve a bitch for what happened with the EVPs, and then Swerve shows up in a suit. What are you going to do about it, bitch? So that match for Forbidden Door, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Hangman Hobbs and Mark Briscoe against the Death Riders of Marina Shafir. Oh boy, the blow-off wasn't at all in Texas. That made too much fucking sense. Way too much fucking sense. Tony. Khan will pay dearly for putting Yuta... excuse me. Yuta, Daniel Garcia, Marina Shafir, and so many undeserving goddamn idiots that are never going to be ready for this spot on television for so long. I do not care who that offends. I'm not saying that people don't deserve to earn money in this world, but you cannot tell me that the concerted effort of all of these, of who Khan has focused on, couldn't have been put towards people like Hobbs and others. And this is going to lead to blood and guts, isn't it? We're not over with this. Because I think we have a few weeks where blood and guts might actually end up happening. Which would be completely backwards. They should have done blood and guts before All in Texas, but it's fine. It's fine. And Shafir kept interfering because we can't get away from this shit. God damn it. Send one of the damn women out to just clock her. And I mean send her back to the fucking indies, where quite frankly she's not that good anyway, but she at least would blend in with some that admittedly may never get past the indies. There's a wealth of talent on the indies that could easily outshine her, especially on promos. And they pinned Claudio when literally the stupid string being worthless, aborted fetus that is Wheeler Yuta is right there. And I should feel bad about saying that, but I don't. Because I'm going to keep knocking him until Khan learns to just pull the plug on this guy. And not fire him, but just maybe buckle bomb him repeatedly. Maybe just find a way to just beat the shit out of him. One big boot, foot on the goddamn chest, hand raised. Job him out until he quits. And then Darby's in the balcony, and Moxley just stops his beatdown because Moxley's a fucking idiot. Oh, he wasn't moving all that well. He's hurt. This was pointed out to me. And that friend of mine is right. Here's the thing. Moxley doesn't have to do all this bullshit to himself. Oh, he loves this. Well, guess what? You're not a young man anymore. You're a fucking idiot for putting yourself through all that stuff, getting stabbed with shit, put on beds of nails, and all that, when you are half of the goddamn person that Mick Foley is now, and a tenth of what Mick Foley was in his prime. Pretty soon, I'm going to have to stop with Dynamite reviews. Because it is getting frustrating. I gave up on a lot of weekly WWE stuff, except intermittently, and it is getting very frustrating. This wasn't a bad show, but it was just a repetitive show with just so many feuds that won't end. Okada and Swerve might be good, but as long as they keep featuring people like this fucking useless Yuta, he is Wheeler useless. He will always be useless, and he needs to be told that he's useless by the fans. As a person, he may cure goddamn diseases. He can go do that as long as he's not in a professional wrestling ring where he doesn't belong. So agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rittland. Until we meet again, and until I do not have to see Wheeler Yuta's fucking useless, goddamn expressionless ass face on my television, happy trails to you.